When your partner's fantasy starts to dictate your reality, how do you reclaim your own voice? How do I even begin this? My husband, 30M, and I, 27F, have been together for 5 years, married for 2. I've always considered our relationship to be strong, built on trust, love, and understanding. But recently, I've found myself caught in a situation I never imagined. It started small, something I brushed off, but now it's consuming me. My husband has always had an active imagination in the bedroom. I'm not one to judge, we've both explored fantasies together. A couple of months ago, he confided in me about a new one, a role-play scenario that involved pregnancy and nurturing themes. At first, I laughed it off. I'm on birth control, and we're both firmly child-free. I figured it was just another thing we'd explore in theory, not practice. But things took a turn when he started suggesting that we pretend more realistically. He bought props, maternity-style outfits, and even downloaded an app that simulated pregnancy progress. At this point, I was still half amused, half weirded out, but I played along because I thought it was harmless. It made him happy, and it wasn't hurting me, or so I thought. 2 weeks ago, I had an unexpected health scare. I was nauseous, fatigued, and late. My first thought was stress from work, but when my symptoms persisted, I decided to take a pregnancy test, just to rule it out. I was horrified when it came back positive. My husband was ecstatic. I panicked. How? I'm on the pill. He assured me that it must have been a freak accident and promised he'd be supportive no matter what I decided. But his behavior didn't reflect that. Instead of discussing options, he leaned into this as though it were a blessing in disguise, something that aligned with his fantasy. He's been doting, sure. But every act of kindness feels loaded. He started making comments about my body, especially my breasts, and fantasizing aloud about how things would change. I tried to explain to him how overwhelmed I was, that I didn't know what I wanted yet, but he kept reassuring me that everything would work out and this could be fun. Fun. I booked an appointment with my doctor, fully intending to pursue an abortion. The thought of being pregnant terrifies me, I've always been clear on that. But the closer I got to my appointment, the more conflicted I felt. My husband started saying things like, just think about it for a little while longer, or, we may never get this chance again. It became harder to separate what I wanted from what he wanted. Last night was my breaking point. I tried to bring up the abortion again, and he casually mentioned how beautiful I'd look, just a few months in, and how he couldn't wait to see me glow. It felt like he wasn't hearing me at all, like I'd become an actor in some twisted scene he was directing. I cried myself to sleep. Now, I'm sitting here, 7 weeks pregnant, staring at my phone, trying to find the courage to reschedule my appointment. I feel trapped. This pregnancy isn't a baby to me, it's a physical manifestation of my fear, anxiety, and confusion. My husband says he loves me, but does he love me enough to let go of this fantasy and support my decision? Or am I just supposed to keep pretending until it's too late? I need to find myself again, but I'm scared.